Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Our today's topic is selection, care and storage of hatching eggs. In this topic, I will be discussing with you about how to select the hatching eggs. Secondly, what are different care and management practices after the selection of hatching eggs, and then how we can store these hatching eggs. So these three main and important aspects of hatching eggs especially will be covered in this lecture. Okay, so let's start with the selection of hatching eggs. But before the selection of hatching eggs, I will be focusing on the production of nest clean eggs. So the most important step for selection, care and storage of hatching eggs is the production of nest clean eggs. So this requires a carefully planned management system. So there are some practices which have been proved to be useful in producing clean hatching eggs and in keeping the eggs clean until they are set in the incubators. So let's start these practices. So the first practice is that maintain the birds on wire, plastic or wooden slated floor. So whenever it's possible. However, some commercial strains of chickens and turkeys do not produce well in this environment and must have litter floors in part or all of the house. Second practice, to keep floor eggs to a minimum, provide one nest for every 4 hens. So be sure nests are in place before egg production starts. Thirdly, keep nests filled with clean nesting material such as wood shavings, rice hulls or nest pads. So commonly we use wood shavings or rice hulls. Fourthly, collect eggs frequently, at least 2 to 4 times a day. Next practice, exclude hens from nests at night. So this reduces development of broody hens and keeps nests cleaner. Maintain dry litter at all times. So collect eggs on clean, sanitized plastic flats or in clean egg buckets. Separate cracked, stained and heavy dirty eggs as you collect them and don't set them. So sanitize the clean eggs as soon as possible after collection. So this kills microbes on the outside of the shell. It doesn't kill all of the microbes that have penetrated the shell. Always wash hands thoroughly with a disinfectant soap before handling eggs. Then cool eggs overnight in flats before placing them in cases. And if eggs are to be stored, place them in a clean room held at 55 to 68 degree Fahrenheit and 75% relative humidity. So next practice is never allow eggs to sweat, form surface moisture from the condensation. So they may sweat when moved from cold storage into a warmer room. So you can prevent this by putting eggs in trays in a temperature controlled room. So this was about the nest clean production of hatching eggs, and let's talk about the selection of hatching eggs. So after the production of nest clean eggs, it is very important to select the hatching eggs. Keep in mind, all eggs which you collect are not hatching eggs because some of them have not, all eggs are not hatching eggs. So you have to be careful for the selection of these hatching eggs. So there are some factors we should consider while selecting the hatching eggs. Number one is you should select those hatching eggs which have a proper oval shape. So for eggs, the shape of the egg is oval, but the one end is pointed end and the other end is a blunt end or broader end. So you have to select according to this criteria of the shape. Secondly, you should consider that the eggshell is not very thin. And also an important thing to observe while you are going to select the hatching eggs is that it doesn't have some small spots. Or another important factor for selecting these eggs is misshapen eggs. So all these criterias, when you based on these criterias you select these hatching eggs, you will see the hatchability will be more than 90%. So that was the second thing, important step after the nest clean egg production is the selection of hatching eggs. Third one is after the selection of hatching eggs, the care and management, or I would say then I will be discussing with you the storage. So the care and management of hatching eggs. Let's start. First of all, when you select the eggs, for this step, in parallel you are also collecting these eggs for forming a batch so that you could place it in the incubators. So about incubators I will be discussing with you later on. If you want to store the eggs for 1 day, then the recommended temperature, storage temperature is 68 degrees centigrade. And if you are going to store these hatching eggs for 1 to 4 days, then the recommended temperature is 65 degrees centigrade. And if 5 or more days, then 55 degree Fahrenheit to 60 degree Fahrenheit. But eggs which are stored more than 7 days, they will benefit from daily turning and storage in plastic bags. So turning and storage in plastic bag is very important if you are going to store these hatching eggs for more than 7 days. I would recommend not to store the hatching eggs for more than 7 days. Just store for 1 to 4 days about at 65 degree Fahrenheit. So that was the temperature we should be providing for the storage of hatching eggs. Then what should be the relative humidity? So if we are going to store these hatching eggs at 60 to 65 degrees centigrade, then the relative humidity should be around 85 degrees centigrade. So if we keep this relative humidity, then the eggs won't sweat. Keep in mind, if the eggs sweat, the hatchability will be very, very low. And I would say the hatchability would be so much low that you do not have even a single egg hatched. So it's very important factor while you are going to store the hatching eggs. Now in the care of the hatching eggs, egg sanitation is also very important. Several methods are available for hatching egg sanitation. The appropriate choice for a particular farm, it will depend on the factors like the size of the operation, potential use of the chicks, the history of disease problems, and costs for alternative equipment and chemicals. So small farms may find that the best alternative is to store hatching eggs in a clean environment and set them as soon as possible without sanitation. But large commercial producer, they are advised to consult our poultry, veterinarian or specialist for advice on the best egg handling and sanitation program for their needs. So there are some techniques for egg sanitation. The first one is fumigation. Formaldehyde gas fumigation. It has long been used to reduce contamination on eggs. So, but EPA has, withdraw its label registration because of its potential human toxicity. But still, at this time, no formaldehyde product is registered, especially in USA. But here we can use. The second method for egg sanitation is spray application. Solutions containing disinfectants, they can be sprayed onto the clean eggs during collection. So any disinfectant which is registered for use on hatching eggs, it can be used. So check with the local suppliers for registered materials and use them at recommended level. Another method for the egg sanitation is UV light, that is ultraviolet light. Eggs can be sanitized with UV light. So commercial sanitizing equipment utilizing UV light is available for commercial producers. Another method for egg sanitation is egg washing. So some producers, they prefer to wash hatching eggs. Egg washing effectively sanitizes hatching eggs if proper equipment is available to do the job correctly. However, washing can cause contamination of eggs if the water temperature drops below the recommended levels, or if contamination exceeds the capacity of the disinfectant. So it depends on which type of washers you are using, whether it is reservoir type or immersion washers. So wash water must always be hotter than the eggs. So recommended range for the water temperature is 110 to 120 degree Fahrenheit. The washing solution, it must contain an appropriate sanitizer. So this water shouldn't be used alone. It should be used in combination with some appropriate sanitizer. So this water should be used. So to be most effective, reservoir type washers, they should be equipped with systems to monitor and control sanitizer level. So several commercial egg washing machines, they are also available, but will effectively sanitize hatching eggs when used properly. So only good quality water with less than 2 ppm of iron should be used for egg washing. Now let's talk about the disinfectants for egg sanitation. Which disinfectants can be used for the egg sanitation, especially for hatching egg sanitation? I will be providing you a link in the description box for the list of these most commonly used disinfectants for egg sanitation. But I would recommend chlorine based disinfectants containing a cleaning agent are widely used to wash table eggs. They have proved safe for hatching egg sanitation too. So there are several commercial disinfectants formulas in the market available. So the advantages of we normally use quaternary ammonia, and there are advantages. That is, it is safe for hatching eggs. It leaves residual protection on the eggs by forming a layer on hatching eggs, and it is safe for equipment and personnel, and it is reasonable in cost. So I would say that the key to production of quality chicks is the production and selection of clean eggs. So proper egg sanitation, it will reduce the transfer of disease agents from eggshells to chicks. So guys, thank you very much. That was all about the topic.